Does anyone have helpful tips on a place to keep ice beer bottles and cans? Is this something you typically offer with your mobile bar? Thinking I'm going to have to modify something to make room. I have a 100 quart ice chest I'm bringing to store ice. Taking it out to a wedding for the first time in October, and they want his or her cocktails, 1 keg, beer bottles, and wine, 150 guests. So that's a good size event here. Here's a picture of their bar. Looks beautiful. Love the inside. So yeah, storage is difficult, especially in a mobile bar. It's something that you need to definitely have some trial and error with, depending on what your services are going to be. But this is a wedding that we typically do. 125, 150 guests, usually something on draft. It's 1 to 2 things on draft. We'll have signature cocktails. We'll have all our bottles that we bring. So if somebody wants a gin and tonic, or if they want bourbon, whatever, they have those options. And then we'll have a lot of cans and bottles as well. And that's the tricky part, is having all your drinking ice, having all your cans and bottles, making sure everything's cold, having your wine, making sure that's cold as well. I would say one thing that I do love is with the super coolers, the green coolers that we keep kegs in. Anytime that we do not have kegs, they're great just because they're not wide like a cooler. Some of the larger coolers that you see, even the Yetis, they're just wide and flat, so they take up more space, which is fine, but I do love the cylinder coolers. And you can even go with some of those like the Red Bull coolers that are just very tall. You can load that up with cans and bottles. I've seen that done. That's going to help you save some space. But if you have 2 kegs in there and you need to create more space, best thing you can do is have smaller coolers that you can stack or that can slide underneath under your tables that you have there, so you can keep things cold and separate things and access them quickly. That's an option. And then you can have one of the bigger coolers if you like. You can have the big Coleman's or Yetis, the wider coolers too. We have one of those, and you can put it outside in the back or put it somewhere outside of the trailer and just make sure it's a white cooler so it's not sucking in the sun, and you should be fine. But this is a balancing act.